Hey guys, Hamsterwheel here, and welcome back to Vanilla Plus. Yes, we are here on my new quote-unquote home server, if you will, project that I'm very excited about. And I'm here because I'm going to farm some Incendisar skills, because I'm trying to raise my rep with Thorium Brotherhood. Because you need that for tier tokens, actually. If you want to get the tier set, you get one of those tokens, drop in raids, then you go to the Thorium Brotherhood in BRD, you hand that stuff in, and then you get your tier set. So I'm right now not even friendly yet, so I need to raise some rep. And I'm going to farm these Ascendisars for the skills, which I can hand in. And in the meantime, while I'm doing so, I will be answering all your questions that you post to me. I think I've gotten, 87 questions, or at least 87 replies. So without further ado, let's begin. Here we go. So, the first question, Zohan, where do you think WoW is heading? Are you optimistic of Blizzard's future? Or do you think this is the beginning of a private server renaissance where the WoW community will innovate on WoW instead, like Turtle? That's a very good question, Zohan. Where do I think WoW is heading? That's a very good question. Honestly, I don't keep track of the lore, so I'm not sure what they're going to do in terms of the lore. I just think the lore itself is just so all over the place. I even see people that have WoW channels dedicated to lore that just get confused by, where the story is heading. And it just gives me a headache trying to figure it out myself. For the future of WoW, I think it's going to go down and down and down. And Activision Blizzard is going to try and milk it for as much as they can before they decide to pull the plug. I don't see it making a comeback anytime soon. They've tried it so many times and they just can't get it right. They're just too out of touch. So no, I'm also not optimistic of Blizzard's future. I think they're too, tied in with Activision. I think the only way Blizzard can really turn things around, if you will, is if they cut all ties with Activision. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So I'm not very optimistic. I'm a bit of a doomer in that regard, if you will. And if this is going to be a renaissance for private servers, well, it could be, because we have more and more projects popping up that are definitely worth checking out. They're not, private servers aren't what they used to be back in 2010, where they were just kind of like fun, fun mods or whatever, and barely anything worked. They've come a very long way in terms of quality. So I definitely think we will see a bit of a renaissance in private servers, especially with stuff coming out like WoW Revelations, which is a pretty anticipated project. We have Tari working on some more stuff, and Tari is legendary in terms of their quality. So I think we'll definitely see a bit more interest in private servers. But of course, time will tell if that's actually the case. Coomer Dark asks, WoW Classic up to Wrath, is my favorite game, but all my best buddies aren't really into MMOs at all. What is your advice to people who want to show their friends what a wonderful experience WoW can be? You just have to tell them that WoW is this amazing journey, and it's a journey you can enjoy with friends, and it can create some amazing memories and some very fun moments. I mean, me and my friends, we started way back in Vanilla in 2005. And the most memorable moments I have from that game is when we all played together. So I think they should just give it a go, because at the end of the day, it's just having fun with your friends that can really make WoW seem really fun. Even if you're not a huge fan of MMOs, or you're very interested in orcs and bows and everything like that. So I think that's the way you can pitch it to your friends, if you will. Spaceman says, what are your overall thoughts, I guess, about the state of the private server community as it currently stands? Where are the places you would recommend new players to make their home? Also, how do you balance biking, girlfriend, and work while playing WoW? That's a good question. Okay, so let me start with the first part of your question. Honestly, the private server community, it's just a bit of a shame that so many people focus on fresh rat servers. I am so sick of seeing on WoW servers, kind of the main hub for private servers, brand new fresh rat server called Frozen WoW or something. Like, Jesus Christ, another fresh rat server. We have enough, fresh rat servers, but I guess just people are so addicted to the fresh, man. They just want fresh this, fresh that, and after a month they just jump ship and go to another server. So I wish people would spend a little bit more time doing custom stuff, working on other expansions, working together to make certain cores, if you will, from each expansion better, rather than releasing 1,000 fresh rat servers. That would be better if they would do that. And then secondly, what are the places you'd recommend new players to make their home? It really depends on what you're looking for, because there's servers that are just outstanding in terms of stability and reliability, meaning Warmain, as in, you can say what you want about Warmain, but it's been years since Ice Crown has been up, and it's still there, it's still ticking, it still has a lot of real people playing on it. So it just depends. It really depends what people are looking for. I'd say, Miss Midoriya, I'd say Tari, Wrath of the Lich King. I'm almost desperate to say, I'm almost gonna say just Warmain, because it's just so reliable, at least. And it just really depends, man. It depends what server you want to play on. Also, how do you balance biking, girlfriend, and work while playing WoW? It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's also one of the reasons why I don't raid hardcore anymore, or why I barely do any raiding to begin with. Also, during the winter and fall, I live in the Netherlands, so, it rains a lot and the weather is absolutely terrible. So during the winter, I usually play more, and then in the summer and spring, I mountain bike a lot more. And, my girlfriend is also someone that likes to be on her own, so to say. So it's not like we have, we spend a ridiculous amount of time together, so that's another thing. And work, well, I work 40 hours a week, but I think that's the best answer I can give you. I just play WoW casually. I don't do any serious raiding or anything, and I don't play for 5 hours consecutively or something like that. But it's not easy to balance all of it. But I'm someone that likes to do a lot of stuff, and we have to wait for the respawns, unfortunately. But that's fine. I'll keep answering questions. Bilateral Nude says, "What are your plans, or what plans do you have about Vanilla Plus? Do you think that it can be your home server?" I definitely hope it can be my home server. I consider it my home right now because I'm really liking the project. But it really depends how hard raids are going to be for me and how time consuming they are. Like I just explained, I don't have a whole lot of time to raid. So I'm hoping I can maybe set aside one day where I can just focus on raiding, playing consecutively. And it just depends on whether that will fit with whatever guild I'm in and how time consuming the content is. Because what I notice is that Vanilla Plus, the dungeons are pretty hard and very time consuming. But time will tell. I really hope it. Fuzzy Koala says, "Hey Ham, just wanted to say thank you for the uploads. Been watching almost from the beginning." Oh, that's nice. And his question is, can you share a few of your most memorable experiences in WoW? It doesn't have to be raid related. Man, there's a lot that stand out. I think one of the most memorable moment right now that I can think of is a Warsong Gulch match during the Before the Storm patch in Vanilla. Before the Storm was a patch where Vanilla was updated to 2.0, so it got the BC core, so the Burning Crusade talents. And basically that's when Moonkin started to really do some serious damage. And I was a balanced druid back then, so I started doing crazy crits. And then there was one day where me and my old guild, Legio Xisio on Frostmain, before it was Dragonmaw, we had a live guild meetup. And we went to an internet cafe called the Mad Processor, or whatever it's called. It was in Amsterdam. It's not around anymore. And we all gathered together. We did a Warsong Gulch pre-made, and we all worked together, partially to make sure that I could do some crazy crits. So what happened was I went to the auction house, bought myself a Flask of Supreme Power. I made sure I got the Zerker buff in Warsong Gulch. And there was a girl named, her nickname was Ceres. She had a priest, and she had power infusion. So what happened was I found a warrior. He had Zerker buffs, so he had 10% damage increase. I had Zerker buffs, so I had, 30% damage increase. And the priest gave me power infusion. And I swear to God, this warrior, he was about to attack someone. He was charging in. He was full health. One single starfire, boom, he was dead. And he died so fast, I didn't even see a number. So I scrolled back to my combat log. I checked it out, and I saw that I crit this guy, a warrior named Yorpako, for 4,684, which back then was just insane how much damage that was. So that's probably my most memorable WoW moment. Just working together to achieve something crazy like that. So yeah, that's a good example. Hey Hamster, been a fan of a long time. I'm curious to know what kind of music you listen to, and who are your favorite bands/artists? That's a very good question. I'm actually kind of all over the place with music. I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to death metal, which, strangely enough, they're pretty intertwined if you know music, you know. Death metal borrows a lot from classical music, actually, which is one of the reasons why I like it so much. I think right now, bands, I listen to Arcspire, which I really like. I still like Veil of Maya. I still listen to things from Mozart and Bach, even, if I'm in classical mood. Chon, which is, I guess, progressive metal, if you will. I also listen to a lot of math rock, so Giraffes, This Town Needs Guns. When I'm driving, I listen to funk, which is kind of like, you gotta look it up on YouTube. PHONK, it's called. So, but those are a few bands that I listen to right now. So there you go. Harry asks, as a WoW player that mostly plays WoW like yourself, do you ever regret the hours you have spent in a virtual universe as opposed to spending it on becoming a better version of yourself? That's actually a very good question. I'll give you a very honest answer. Yes. I started playing WoW when I was 15. Let me think here. Yeah, 15 years old I was when I started playing WoW. And back then, I went pretty hardcore with WoW. I played it a lot. And now that I look back, I wish I spent a little bit more time, exercising, working out, trying to, improve myself instead of just playing video games all day. So there's definitely some hours I would have liked to swap if I could, travel back in time, to swap out for something else, because I played that game, night after night, which is also the reasons why now I can't get back to very hardcore WoW playing, because I know what it's like, and it's just not what I want to do. So there's definitely some regret. Absolutely. I have no problem admitting that. Bob Rooney says, I have no question. Just want to thank you for the content and bringing me to Chromycraft. Super slow progression, Rattlishing's private server, which is perfect for a first-time WoW player. A first-time WoW player? Oh, nice. All the best for 2022, man. Oh, thank you very much. And I hope you have a wonderful 2022 as well. And thank you for the kind words. Hope you enjoy your stay on Chromycraft. Scrunt says, what are your thoughts on Apollo? Plan on playing here long, seems to have a fairly large player base, stable servers, and great scripting. Do you think it will last and gain ranks in the P server universe? Thoughts on Apollo? Well, actually, I read your comment, by the way, so I made a video about that, so if you want to watch it, there it is. Space Iguana says, when starting on a new private server, are there any fears that the project might get shut down by Blizz that make you hesitant to invest time into it? Yes, but it really depends where the private server is hosted. As long as the private server is hosted in a country like US, Blizzard has no legal jurisdiction over them, so they can't do anything. And that's what it is when it comes to Blizzard. But of course, a private server can also get shut down because the team is just so incompetent. So that's also one of the reasons why I don't like very low rate servers, because it takes so much time to get to level 60. And it's a risky business. You just never ever know if a team just one day posts in Discord, hey guys, we're calling it quits, bye. So it's also one of the reasons why I stick to high rate servers, like 3 times and up. Pablo Fernandez, hi Ham, first of all, thank you for being an awesome person, I guess. Love your content. Will you play on Stormforge? I know that you like more previous expansions, but it seems to me that it will be very good. Regards from Uruguay. Wow, Uruguay. It's a country I don't hear a lot of. I don't think I'll play on it because right now I'm just so preoccupied with Vanilla Plus and Apollo 3, so I think I'm going to pass on that. Antoine Morera, hope I pronounced your name there right. Did you ever consider in making or being part of a group company, if you can call them that, to make your own perfect private server? If it's yes, what in summary will be the timeline or general idea? If not, why? So if I would make my own private server, I don't know, man, because if I would make my own private server, I probably want it to be successful, so I wouldn't implement all the changes I would personally make. I don't know. I think what I would make, to be perfectly honest with you guys, is something that hasn't been done before. I really like progressive servers, like, Rattlishing server that is locked at 60, then 70, then 80. Kind of throws a monkey wrench into the whole meta. So what I would make, something crazy, like, I don't know, like a Mr. Pandaria super group progressive server where you start at 60, then 70, then 80, 85, and then 90. That's something I would see simply because it hasn't been done before. So, yeah. San Medina, He asks, I know you said a million times that you've lost your faith in Blizzard, and trust me, bro, we're all there. But do you feel with all the failed launches we had in 2021 that you're losing faith on private servers too, kind of? I understand what you're saying. There's definitely been some mess ups by the private server community as well. I don't think I'm losing faith because at the same time there's a good amount of private server launches that are going well. And again, I don't have to financially support. I'm not obligated to financially support private servers each and every single month. It's not a monthly subscription, and that's why I play on high rate servers. If you play in a high rate server, there's little time invested to get to max level and see what it's like. So there we go. Protonome asks, is Orbit still alive? I remember you guys being part of the high council of the private server scene. Damn, that's long ago. Orbit, as far as I know, is still alive. I have him on WhatsApp. I sent him a few messages, but he hasn't replied. I just think he's busy with other stuff, and I understand that perfectly. So, yeah, I still think he's alive. By the way, if you're wondering, I actually met Orbit 2019 it was. I went to Denmark. I looked him up. And if Orbit is kind of known for being a super chill, kind of relaxed guy. And if you're thinking that's just some sort of like a YouTube shtick, if you will, it's not. That's how he is all the time, every time. So, really cool dude. And I hope to see him return to private servers or something, because I absolutely love his videos. Great guy. CM Birdziak, or whatever your name is. What are your thoughts on the current state of the WoW team and the Blizzard in general? Do you think all the recent controversy will cause a shift back towards what we used to know, or just compound the problems we're already seeing? I think they're on full damage control. Like I said, I think it's just Blizzard is too far gone. I think they've lost touch with what made the game great originally. And I just don't, I'm sorry, I'm gonna repeat it again. I'm pretty pessimistic about it. I don't see them, turning things around. So yeah. Kyoguri, whatever your name is. I like Vanilla Plus giving hunters a true melee spec and prot warriors having more variety. What are your thoughts on Survival Hunter, its melee aspect and prot warrior changes? Unfortunately, I can't really answer that question because I have no experience yet with Survival Hunters or prot warriors here. So I'm sorry I can't give you any answer on that. I think the best bet is to just log on the server and ask around. That's your best bet. That's what I did when I just joined the server. I said in roll chat, hey guys, what is this about? How does this work? How does that work? And I got some good answers. Alexandre Holtz asks, what's your favorite private server and why is that? Another question in case no one asked already. What do you think about the current state of the private server community at all? Yeah, there you go. So I already answered that. So there you go. And your favorite private server? Oh man, that's rough. It's either Phoenix Archangel, simply because I played there for a long while with my real life friends. And that's when I really started making videos. Of course, I made a few videos before Archangel, but that's when I really took off with the weird specs and all the other videos I made. So it's either that or Primal WoW, because Primal WoW had a really great community. I loved raiding there. So yeah, it's one of those. Primal WoW and Phoenix Archangel. Celticard, hey man, I was wondering how you get up and decide what private server you're going to play for the day. Seems like with as many private servers you play, it must be hard to choose what to play sometimes. Lots of expansions and classes to go with. Absolutely. But usually when I dedicate myself to one private server, I don't play other private servers. And that's okay because I know I can eventually come back and play that other server. So Warmane is something I play on and off because, say what you want about the fake population. I don't like it too. I don't like the cash shop and everything. But it's a decent server and you can always, you can put it away for a year. You can come back, your character's still there. You can do some dungeons, you can have some fun there. You put it away for another year, you come back, it's still there. So that's usually what I do. But right now, yeah, like I said, I just dedicate myself to one or max 2 servers and I just play those. So I don't really have any, it's not like I wake up and I scroll through all my private servers that I have available and think, which one shall I choose today? I usually already know which one I'm going to play on. So yeah. Thor Beorn, explain some of the biggest changes that you want in order to come back and play retail. Well, retail, man. Okay, so I think $15 a month for such an old game. I'm sorry, it's such an outdated business model. I think it should be 10 or 8. I think the subscription model should be cheaper. I don't want a fucking cash shop in there. I want all like cosmetic little thingamajigs. I want them out, or at least I want them to be in the game, but you obtain them through other things like achievements or whatever that you don't have to pay. And I want Blizzard to cut all ties with Activision, which I don't see happening, but that might change me into playing retail again. Also, maybe some other drastic changes to the game, like not having the leveling content that is just so damn easy. You can literally be half asleep and still destroy everything. What's your favorite survival game? Would you consider streaming more often? I enjoy listening to while I work. Thank you, Tim. Tim J. Geiger was that. Favorite survival game? I don't play any survival games, to be honest with you. The last survival game, quote unquote, that I played was Minecraft in like 2013. So, yeah, there you go. Asmodeus, what was the first private server that you played on, and what's your favorite private server? So the favorite private server, like I said, is either Phoenix Archangel or Primal WoW. The first one I played on was Phoenix Warsong, way back in 2012. That was my first one. Trevor Ebert, what do you like about older versions of WoW more than the current game? What do you think the current game does better for you? What do you think the current game? Okay, first question. The older versions, it's just that less stuff is getting handed to you on a silver platter. If I compare vanilla to, let's say, Mr. Pandaria, I think in Mr. Pandaria, you get epics way too freaking easy. I think the leveling in Mr. Pandaria is way too easy. And it just becomes a little boring, and some items just lose its meaning and its value. So, yeah. And the other question, what do you think the current game does better for you? I mean, I don't play the current version, but I'll say one thing, the more modern versions, is that some dungeons, I say, they take less time. I don't know. Actually, the one thing better versions or more current versions do for me is the fact that class design is a little more fun, if you will. I mean, I love vanilla, but at the end of the day, if you're mage and you're raiding Molten Core, you're just spamming Frostbolt and nothing that. It's just, the rotation is pretty mind-numbing. And in Mr. Pandaria, for instance, I played an Elemental Shaman there. The rotation was really fun. I really liked the playstyle. So that's why I guess what I like more about the more current versions of WoW. Philip Klinker, do you consider building a community where we come together and try out private servers of other games like Warhammer Online? A lot of servers are dead for some games, and it can be a nice experience giving them new players and testing these games out. Philip, that's actually a pretty good idea. The problem is right now I'm already pretty much, swamped with stuff I want to do, which is also why I don't have a Discord server. Some people ask me, why don't you have a Discord server? I'm like, yeah, it's another thing I got to moderate, and, so I like the idea. I just don't really have the time right now. Maggie the Cannon. Yo, it's me, Maggie. Hey, what's up, man? From Chromycraft, of course. I love all the content and been watching you for a long time. A long time, excuse me. But I gotta say, I started playing on Chromycraft before I knew you were there. I stayed mainly for the dummy race you made, and chance will get more and more of those as the brackets and race release. Absolutely, Maggie. So, yeah, I've kind of fallen off the radar with Chromycraft, and that's because they're going to move to raiding now. And like I said, it's harder and harder for me to find time to raid. And, since I've discovered Vanilla Plus, I am just all over it. However, I still want to continue the DPS races. So, you can definitely count on there being more in the future. So, yeah, don't worry, there's more to come. Joel, so many people have started playing on Vanilla Plus because of your videos, big influx of new players, and they all mention Hamsterwheel. Oh, that's nice. Okay, no question, but thank you very much for your comment, Joel. Live Bro asks, if you could give a private server a big population, which one could it be? Either Vanilla Plus, let me think, Duskhaven, because I heard Duskhaven is actually a really cool project with a developer that just fixes stuff ridiculously fast. What else? I think those two. Let's just stick with those two. Cromster asks, have you heard of Project Ascension, Conquest of Azeroth, completely new season, blah, 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 level 40. If you have any thoughts on doing a few videos or live streaming it. I've heard of Ascension, Conquest of Azeroth. I don't know, I can't get into it. It's just a little too custom for me, if you will. Vanilla Plus is a nice balance for me. It has changes, but not enough where I can still kind of, really recognize the game and the classes. So right now, not really interested in playing that. Schnubs asks, what has been your most memorable moment in WoW? Well, there you go. I explained it with the the Before the Storm and me doing crazy crits as a balanced druid. How many more expansions do you think Blizzard can squeeze out that'll actually be worth something? Big fan, by the way. Man, okay, so it really depends how long WoW will still be around. I think it will stick around for quite a while, actually. I don't know. I think maybe one. Because if you look at the timeline, Cataclysm, generally not that great. People didn't think Miss Benaria wasn't that great. WoD, people really didn't like. Legion, however, generally speaking, I think people kind of like that one. So, they did get one modern expansion, right, so to say. So I think they can probably squeeze out one more that is like okay-ish. I don't know. I think. Uther asks, hey, was just curious. I remember you used to play on Vanilla Gaming a couple of years ago. When and why did you stop playing there? Well, simply because on Vanilla Gaming, I had a goal to clear Naxxramas. And not just once. I wanted to do it and actually gear up, get the gear, do decent DPS, get my own, like, consumes, craft them, look for herbs, all, the whole 9 yards, basically. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to do that forever. Because it's just like, okay, I'm going to dedicate some time. I'm going to put some time away and just raid, I guess, semi-hardcore on Vanilla Gaming. So I knew right from the beginning that I wasn't going to do this forever. And once I completed my goal, I raided with Chaos for a few more months. I think I raided in total like 6 or 7 months with them. And then I decided, you know what? I did what I wanted to do. I did it. I cleared Kel'Thuzad. I got all the gear. I geared up and everything. And I thought, okay, you know what? That's good enough for me. So that was mostly the reason why I quit Vanilla Gaming. It was never meant to really last for years and years, so to say. Let's see here. Leroy Load Wedges. Probably butchered your last name. The question from a Dutchman to a Dutchman. Okay. How are you doing lately? Oh, that's a good question. Thank you. Dankjewel, Leroy. I'm doing quite well. And yeah, hope you're doing well as well, man. Thank you very much. And also wondering if you're going to try out some Season of Mastery or just sticking to private servers. Greets, Leroy. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to private servers. I have no interest in playing Season of Mastery, to be honest with you guys. Not interested. Solok asks, what do you do from keeping yourself burned out from WoW? I always end up leveling a character in a private server and always quit from the server that I'm playing. Man, I just try to find different stuff to look forward to. That's one. And I am someone that actually really likes leveling. I think it's very, very relaxed. It's very flexible in terms of how much time you want to spend. And like I said, I just try to look forward to different things every time. So, on Cataclysm, I played Cataclysm quite a decent amount. On Molten WoW, I've played Cataclysm on Hades with my friends. And now I'm leveling again on Cataclysm. But I'm leveling a Tauren Paladin, which I had never played before. So that's way I can keep it kind of fresh, if you will. So that's how I do it. I am single asks, what's your favorite expansion besides the early ones? So besides TBC, Vanilla, and Wrath, my favorite one, that's a good question actually. I think right now probably Mists of Pandaria. And it's not because of the style of the content, so to say. I don't like the fact that literally everything is focused around like this Oriental, Chinese, whatever. It's just whatever. But I really like some of the way some of the classes feel. I love Elemental Shaman in Mists of Pandaria. I love playing it there. So aside from the early 3, I choose Mists of Pandaria because of the class design. Poke Your Face asks, I have asked it many times, but what monitor are you using? That's a really good question. I have two 20, I think they're 26 inch or 27. I think two 27 inch AOC monitors, which are like already a couple of years old, but I'll have to look up the exact model. I don't know the exact model, unfortunately. Liu Bei asks, if you could build a house and live in Azeroth, where would that be? Hands down, it would be in Mulgore. I'm sorry, just Mulgore is one of the most chill, wonderful zones to be in. It, the lush green environment, the trees, the little river, the little lake at Bloodhoof Village. Man, it's just good vibes all around. So definitely Mulgore, absolutely. Johan Top asks, what do you do for a living? Great content, been here since your builds videos. Wow. I'm an accountant for multiple casinos for a living. So yeah, just basically an accountant. That's what I do full time. Altern A asks, do you feel sad about the state of WoW? Does it remembering the good old days of WoW make you sad? It doesn't really. It makes me a little sad, just to see how hard Blizzard has fallen ever since, the beginning of WoW, or whatever you want to call it. It's definitely sad, but it is what it is. WoW, Blizzard or Activision Blizzard, whatever you want to call it, they had plenty of opportunities to turn things around, I think. And you can only forgive an old friend so many times before you say, you know what, I think it's better if we don't hang out anymore. And that's why I decided to cut ends with Blizzard and quit playing retail. So yeah, it's a little sad, but considering how much they messed up, it's whatever. Trevor Ebert, what are your favorite and least favorite specs in vanilla? Favorite, it's got to be Balance Druid, just because of the fact that I play one in retail vanilla. Least favorite, I'll say Retribution Paladin or Prop Paladin, because I barely ever played Paladin on vanilla and I have no interest in it. So yeah, can't bring up to play those. Wowhead 2006 asks, are you going to do another leveling series on one of the other private servers you play on? I am planning on doing it again, like the Lone Wolf leveling. When? I'm not sure. But, sooner or later, I'll probably get back to that. Ollie D asks, what would it take for you to play the next expansion after Shadowlands? Before the answer to that, I want Blizzard to cut ends with Activision. I want them to make drastic changes, make leveling hard again, not have everything handed to you or most things handed to you, and a whole bunch of other changes. So they're going to have to, do a complete 180 if they want me to return to retail. And even then, I don't know if I can still, financially support that company, due to ethical reasons. Johnny Valverde, or whatever his last name is, why don't you play Classic Season of Mastery or TBC? Because I don't want to support Blizzard financially anymore. I think they messed up so many things in Classic. I think they messed up so many things in TBC. I think their whole situation with the dying servers and the server balance is awful, where you actually have to pay. The botting is completely out of control. Their absolute lackluster approach to trying to smash the bots, trying to ban them. It's just, I'm sorry, it's too much of a. They really messed it up in my opinion, and all the controversies they found themselves in. I can't bring myself to every month support that company financially. Just can't do it. Fruits Max, do you think Wrath servers will be slammed by retail as hard as vanilla ones were? Yeah, probably. I think so. I think Warmain will probably be fine, because I don't know what it is, but Warmain will always have a high population, high amount of actual people playing there. I think for some reason that server will always just stick around no matter what. But I think a lot of private servers that exist when Classic Wrath comes out will definitely take a hit, just like in Classic. Let's see. Thomas, hey Hamsterwheel, which state of Chromycraft is going to be the most popular with the most active players? I mean, looking back at all private servers, it's probably going to be the Wrath one. I don't know. I don't know why, but many people have a boner for Wrath Lich King, so I guess that iteration will be the most popular. Raven Owens asks, what expansion gives you good memories that you wish you could do over again? Vanilla. Just vanilla. Because I played there with my real life friends and I was still a teenager, had very little responsibilities, so could play that a lot. Gamer Kitsune, what's your favorite race from the Horde and why do you like it so much? Tauren. Absolutely Tauren. Because I like their kind of like chill vibes, if we will, and I like the way they look. I'm someone that really likes to be able to see their gear while they're playing. So, for instance, a gnome I can't play because they're so small you barely see your gear. Blood Elf female also, it's very tiny. But a Tauren, I mean, look at this. You can very clearly see your gear, and you're this like mighty bull, and it just looks badass. So, yeah, I like Tauren. Gamia S asks, what do you think are the things that make a private server popular or not? Good scripting, respectable staff, good advertising as well, because there's been private server projects that haven't been advertised that they're really good, and then they get no players. And I think probably more like Blizz-like stuff too. Blizz-like servers tend to do better than the custom stuff, so I think those that stuff combined. Dranks asks, why haven't you played Season of Mastery? I've already answered that one because, it can't support Blizzard financially. The hardcore challenge is great content. I, for one, would love to watch your journey as a hardcore. Yeah, I've been thinking about, doing that, but again, I just can't support that company financially, so yeah, ain't gonna happen. Scrunt asks, what is your favorite tipsy memory of WoW? Tipsy? Man, to be honest with you, I barely ever play WoW when I'm tipsy, but I think on Primal WoW, we had this really cool guild. And on Friday night, when I didn't go out, and when I didn't go out with buddies, I would hang out there. And on Friday, of course, we'd have a few drinks. And I play guitar, so I just started playing guitar in TeamSpeak or whatever. And we just hung out, we had fun, and I don't know. Like, not a certain moment that really pops up, but there were moments where we just hung out in the chat there and some really cool people, and I played songs and people loved it. So I guess that's my favorite tipsy moment, if you will. Let's see here. Kukuruku. Not sure if I pronounced it right, but does the P server audience, given how random of a niche crowd it is, give you enough engagement to live off of YouTube? And if yes, do you see your future as a YouTuber? Does the thought of WoW going away at some point scare you in regards to your livelihood? Well, first of all, I don't do YouTube for a living, so it doesn't scare me because it's not my livelihood. I don't make nearly enough to be able to do YouTube full time, not even close. So yeah, if it goes away, it's fine. My main source of income is my full-time job as an accountant, so not worried. And let's see. That's basically your question. I don't live off of it. So there you go. Kite asks, what's the most promising private server you played on this year? The most promising? That's a very good question, actually. Let me think. The most promising. I'd say Vanilla Plus, actually. This server, I'm really liking it. I haven't played on a ton of new private servers this year. And I'd say this one because it seems amazing. I was super hyped for the changes, but I was really scared that it would not work at all. And apparently it works really well. It's not perfect, of course, but as far as I know, it works really well. So yeah, Vanilla Plus. Kyotech HD says, hey, Himes, big fan. I've always wondered, are you a full-time creator on YouTube or you have another occupation? Oh, there we go. Yeah, so basically, no, I'm not. I work 40 hours a week as an accountant, and YouTube is just my hobby. It's not by no means my main source of income. Undead Soldier asks, what do you think of Project Ascension and their Conquest of Eros? I've already answered this. I'm sorry, I haven't played on there. I just can't get myself to play on it. It's just a little too custom for me. Exojob Blade asks, what do you think is your favorite changes to each class in Vanilla Plus? To each class, it's very difficult. Wait, let me finish this comment. I'll wait for an answer no matter how long it takes. Also, can people shut up about retail like no one cares? For Retail Classic, that shit sucks balls. All right, there you go. To be honest with you, it's tough because, of course, I've only played Druid so far. I have no experience whatsoever with the other classes. The ones that I like the most, I think, are Elemental Shaman and Balanced Druid. I think that the most important changes for me are definitely the total 7% spell hit I show here right now. That is, I hate spell hit as a mechanic in Vanilla because you're just endlessly trying to get enough spell hit, always trying to chase that hit cap. It just gets a little monotonous. And the fact that you have 7% right off the bat, it really helps. And also Nature Balancer that I explained with the increased crit chance. So those are my favorite changes. Let's see here. Mr. Rosh, what do you think of new mysteries of Azeroth expansion for Turtle WoW? Not much because I haven't played on Turtle WoW, so I can't give you any opinion on that. Drinks, not a question but a statement. Make Dodgy Kebab return to private servers. I talked about it. I talked to him about it on WhatsApp, and he ain't returning anytime soon, unless someone offers him a good amount of money to make a review. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to return to private servers anytime soon. Zook asks, how long do you think the WoW private server scene will last? I think it will last forever, dude. Forever. People can just relaunch and relaunch servers over again. I don't think it's ever going to die. 2, will you ever make a video about your R34? It's an R33, actually. It's an R33 Skyline. And 3, what's your favorite dessert? Oh, that's a good one. I just think ice cream. I love ice cream. So I'll have that as my favorite dessert. Hate the Hitman. Would you be down for some World PvP action when Hate the Hitman in Wrathlichen Classic? With Hate the Hitman in Wrathlichen Classic when that comes around. I'm not probably gonna play Wrathlichen Classic Hate the Hitman, but if I do, never say never, but if I do, yeah, sure, I'm down for some World PvP. Tyler Housknecht, sounds like a Dutch last name. Is Chromycraft still your main squeeze? Nope, right now it's Vanilla Plus. So yeah, Vanilla Plus. Cody Broom asks, will you be playing Stormforge's new mob server? Very excited for it. Right now, no, probably not, because I'm preoccupied with Apollo and Vanilla Plus. Safa Grujika asks, at this stage of WoW's life, do you think a WoW 2 could be what is needed to reinvigorate and revitalize WoW? Totally modern graphics, game overhauled from the ground up. There's actually a YouTube concept art video showing this. I think definitely. I think at some point, as soon as WoW has really run its course, I think as soon as Blizzard announces like World of Warcraft 2, it will bring like a lot of like hype and interest back into World of Warcraft. So maybe not at this stage of WoW's life, but maybe like in like 3 years or something, they'll like, all right, you know what, we're gonna come with WoW 2, and everyone's gonna get hyped again. So yeah. Nash says, will you play on Ravlich on Stormforge? I already answered this, but nope, I won't. But thank you for asking. Juho Multanen, probably another name I butchered. What would need to change for you to come back to retail? It's another one I answered already. Florin Buzatu, hey, me and some friends are looking to play some fun WoW private servers because we don't like the state of WoW right now and don't have the time to use up the subscription. Could you recommend one for each expansion? I know you did already, but maybe something new came up. For vanilla, I'd say Darrowshire. For something custom, I'd say Turtle WoW or Vanilla Plus. For TBC, honestly, I can't recommend any expansions or servers right now. I don't know which one from TBC is still alive even. Wrath, I'd say Warmane just for stability is good. Chromycraft is good for a Warmane or for a Wrath Lich King because it's progressive. Let's see, Cataclysm, Apollo 3, Miss Medaria, I'd say Lotus WoW, which is coming up, or Tari, or Stormforge actually. And actually from there on out, like WoD, BFA, Legion, I honestly can't give you any pointers. That's just, I haven't played those. But there you go. That's a few I can throw out there. Psycho Pyro asks, why are you so fabulous? Hi, Hamster. Hey, what's up, Psycho? I don't know, man. I guess it just comes naturally to me that I'm so fabulous. Hans Dumpf says, yo, Hamster, is there any good preferred new classic server out there or some with a good reputation and population? A new classic server, like private server, I guess Darrowshire is right now your best bet. Derp Dolphin says, have and do you play any other MMOs other than WoW? Right now, nope, I don't. I barely play any other game but WoW because just don't have enough time to play anything else. In Pain asks, will you play on Tari's and Atlantis' new server, Stormforge? Probably not, because like I said, I'm already preoccupied with Vanilla Plus and Apollo. But again, I've answered this question already. Nicola, will you ever give retail another shot? Maybe in the future. Never say never, but as of right now, nope. Gabriel Nazari, how much time do you spend playing WoW? I work and have 2 hours per day. What do you do for a living? I'm an accountant. How much time do I spend? It really depends. Like some days I don't spend at all. Some days I spend 3 hours playing or something like that, but not consecutive. Like I'll play a half hour here and a half hour there. I'd say on average like 1.5 hours a day. On average. Now maybe less, like an hour a day actually. And maybe on the weekends a little bit more. It just depends. If I go out and I have plans with my girlfriend in the weekend, of course, then I barely ever play. But if I have no plans at all, then I might play a bit more. It really depends. Chabot L. Shafter says, will you play on Tari private servers? I think he's talking about Stormforge. Right now, that's a no. Alterm A asks, what will you play now that WoW is old? I'll just keep playing private servers, I guess. Sebastian Korfmaker, top give albums of the year. I don't really keep track of like very new albums. I guess the one I really like right now is the new album from Arcspire. I think that's a really good album. They absolutely killed it with that one. And Vola with I forgot what the album is called, but that new album from them. So those two. Nick Kennedy asks, are you gonna play on Mistblade? I don't even know what that is, and probably not. Dark DKK asks, what are your other hobbies besides WoW? I play guitar. I like cars, and I mountain bike. That's mostly my other hobbies. Why haven't you talked about Revelations or Turtle recently? Haven't had time to check them out, actually. Dalmite asks, what's your credit card number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, there it is. David Moore asks, how are you doing? Which is, a nice question. Thank you very much. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, and hope you're doing well, David. Bushbomb21 Beast just says edits ask with a pointy finger. All right, there you go. Code Jake says Turtle Wow update video. I don't play Turtle Wow, and so I'm not the right one to give you an update actually. So maybe I'll touch Turtle Wow in the future. But as again, right now I'm just swamped with Vanilla Plus and Apollo 3. Alan Delikan asks, do you play something else? No, not really. No, it pretty much only WoW and maybe sometimes a racing game with my car guy friends, if you will. And Ragbro and Chris Gaming, the last question, why did you become a YouTuber? Because I liked videography, I liked making videos, and I figured, what the hell, I might just upload them on a public platform and see what people think of it. And yeah, that's why I started with YouTube. Thought to myself, you know what, I can make a channel, it's fun, people might like it, and as it turns out, people do. So there you go, guys, that's all the questions that I have for you. Thanks to everyone who answered. Thanks to everyone who asked their questions. I really appreciate it. And I had a lot of fun answering your questions. And as always, I want to thank you for watching this video. I'm Hamsterwheel, and have a good one.